What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the chronically charismatic Dr. Disaster, and things continue to look bleak for Ncuti Gatwa's iteration of Doctor Who, or, as I like to refer to him, Doctor.
What the hell is even that?
This year has not been kind for the show in terms of viewership. The first season of Ncuti Gatwa as the Doctor broke all kinds of records, but not in the ways that the showrunners would like. It had the lowest viewership in the history of Doctor Who, and it isn't even close. This probably shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone, considering the fact that any criticism of the show was written off by the actor for the Doctor himself. Ncuti Gatwa said that anyone who didn't like the show was a bigot, and all that other crap. He told us to go outside and touch grass, which is what everyone clearly did instead of watching Doctor Who.
Well, maybe I'll just take my attitude and leave.
Why don't you?
I will.
Good.
Great.
Go ahead. We don't need ya.
Well, as it turns out, it looks like they might have needed us a little bit after all, because Doctor Who fans have been turning away from the show in droves. And now that the Christmas special for 2024 has been released, we can see what the overnight ratings are, and it is not looking good at all. In fact, they have lost a large chunk of viewership year over year. This is not what Doctor Who wants to see while trying to convince Disney to continue to fund them.
What is this? What is this? Where's all the money?
That's as good as money, sir. Those are IOUs.
It turns out that using immutable characteristics like skin color and gender, using them as a hook to try to draw people in, has diminishing returns. At first, it was interesting to some people out there. What's the first female Doctor gonna be like? What's the first black and openly queer Doctor going to be like? But after a while, that stops being interesting, and people stop turning out because switching these characteristics up is no replacement for writing a good story.
At this point, it's more like, Doctor, why bother?
But alright, let's talk about Doctor Who and the Christmas special, which was an absolutely stunningly stupid plot. Spoiler alert, but this chonky woman named Joy ends up saving the day by essentially eating a star that the bad guys were trying to grow in order to use as a limitless energy supply. I'll give them this though, nothing says modern feminism quite like a pudgy woman eating her way to victory. But stupid plot points aside, the show performed abysmally. As you can see at the bottom of this chart here, the Christmas special this year managed overnight ratings of only 4.11 million viewers, which may sound like a lot, but it's actually quite terrible, especially for a Christmas special, as I will show you. The thing is, I can hear some of you out there thinking, hold on a second, Doc. I'm looking at the rest of that chart, and the Christmas special got over 2 times the overnight viewership of the other episodes. Isn't that good? Well, no, it really isn't. Christmas specials usually get a bump in the ratings by dint of being one of the major things on TV in the UK. A lot of families in the UK will apparently just leave their TV on and let it play in the background if nothing else, but far fewer people did that this year than they did last year, by a significant amount. It seems they dropped by about 15%. Last year's Christmas special, The Church on Ruby Road, the first full episode with Ncuti Gatwa, that got overnight numbers of 4.73 million, whereas this year they hit 4.11 million. last year's Christmas special eventually hit 7.5 million viewers, which was down from previous Christmas specials. Based on the decline in viewership for the overnight ratings, we can reasonably expect that the final ratings for the show for yesterday's Christmas special will end up hitting around 6.4 million viewers. Now, if you compare that to how the show used to do on Christmas, well, there's no comparison. And now, for whatever reason, they never did a Christmas special during the Whitaker years. But if you go all the way back to the Capaldi years, you can see that in 2017, the last Christmas special prior to Ncuti Gatwa, they got just under 8 million viewers. And the year before that, in 2016, once again, they got just under 8 million viewers. In 2015, they got a little under 8 million viewers, and in 2014, they actually were a bit over 8 million. But you've got to think, the Capaldi years were actually the start of flagging viewership for Doctor Who, which is what caused them to try the female Doctor in the first place. I'm a firm believer that for a lot of these IPs, the formula isn't simply get woke, go broke. It's get broke, go woke, and then get even broker. I think a lot of franchises were desperate to stay relevant, so they tried to reinvent themselves using modern fads like gender swapping and race swapping. But in any case, the final Christmas special for Matt Smith in 2013 had over 11 million viewers. His special in 2012 had nearly 10 million, and his special in 2011 had damn near 11. David Tennant even managed to get over 12 and over 13 million on his Christmas specials. The point being is that these used to be extremely popular episodes. Doctor Who Christmas shows is a tradition in the UK from what I understand, and so a little over 4 million overnight viewers, considering that the year before they saw going on 5 million, that is apocalyptically bad. What this shows us is that the viewership from Ncuti Gatwa's first season was not an anomaly or anything like that. It was representative of how Whovians feel, that this is something that most of them feel comfortable skipping, and that the viewership is only going to get worse, which is sad considering how bad it already was. I mean, look at the terrible viewership for Ncuti's first season. These are the 7-day figures here in this column, and keep in mind that the previous record for lowest rated episode for Doctor Who was a Jodie Whittaker episode called Legend of the Sea Devils. That one got 3.47 million viewers, and it was the lowest by a mile. Ncuti has managed to beat that with episode 5 from his first season called Dot and Bubble. That one only hit 3.38 million viewers, and the first season of Ncuti Gatwa now holds 8 of the top 10 spots for worst viewership figures in modern Doctor Who history. And keep in mind that this season only had 8 episodes, so all 8 episodes show up on the top 10 least viewed list. It's no wonder that Disney hasn't decided to re-up with Doctor Who thus far. The show never managed to crack the Nielsen top 10 streaming list in the States when the show hit Disney+. It just hasn't gained any foothold, and this iteration of the Doctor, where they embrace modern age, openly queer stuff, well, that just doesn't seem to be attracting new viewers like they hoped, and it is definitely repelling older viewers. And at this point, if Disney has been on the fence about continuing their partnership with Doctor Who, I wouldn't be surprised if they end up walking away, if they end up not having a third Ncuti Gatwa season. But who knows? I'm going to leave it there though. Drop your thoughts on Ncuti Gatwa and Russell T Davies and modern Doctor Who into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.